Okay, here we go with another one of my mat experiments. This house is in disrepair and whatever. All I need to do is make it last maybe another 20 years, you know. So, see what we got here? This window, let me back up, give you perspective. Okay, I got 3 of these. This one, and one around the corner. Now, this glass is sinking. As you can see here, due to the weight, this board is cracked. And I really don't want it to fall out. And to replace these, they're say $300 a pop, so that's $1,200, not including what all else I would have to repair on the inside and the outside, if anything on the outside, in order to fit new windows in here. So, they're not the best thing in the world, but I'm going to try to patch this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt this. We'll see how this goes. I move you up just a little bit, zero you in. What I'm going to do, which I pre-made this already. Right there. And I pre-cut this board. Now, with any luck, I'm going to try to jack that up, bring this board up, and then screw this into place. I'm using galvanized screws here, Phillips. I don't know what they're left over from. I try to use only Torx heads now rather than any Phillips. So that's because that happens. I don't know if you can see it, but this is all wallowed out. Okay. Now, to let the jack down, and hopefully nothing falls off. All right. Move this over here. While I'm doing this, I'll probably do this one too. All right. The cross, I guess. This is version 2.0. We needed some help here. This is a little bit too short. Could have went and found another one someplace else, but we're working with the same deal here. See, got some rot. Now again, I'll replace these little strips here. I got to cut them. I'm gonna have to rip some out of some trim I have, but I'm gonna try to put this back, put this one up, jack it up. Hopefully that doesn't topple out from underneath. And here we go. This is going to be a whole mixed bag of bullshit here. I need spacers for behind. I'm going to put a piece of molding across the front of that to hold the bottom of that that window in. I don't know if I'm going to be able to rip this. I'm going to try. Guess we'll see. Here we go. All right, here's the sample piece. Wow, boy, is that brutal on the ears. Man, my shit is ringing. And there's the piece I made. So I'm going to call that, we're close. That's what I'm going to work with. So I got the piece in place there, temporarily. Now I need to cut it off. Okay. You see here? That should take up the gap, and then what I'll do just cut a piece of this clamshell to fit, put it right in there to hold her in place. Then I'll paint it all brown to disguise it, and nobody will know. Alright, got her started. Tried to get the camera to come on with my voice and it wouldn't do it, so I had to start without you. So where I left off was replace this board on the bottom of two of these boards, glued this into place, nailed this up. Well, I jacked this up, pushed it all back in. As you can see, you know, this is pretty rough. Put this strip in here. This stuff is just raw dog, wide open. So I'm going to hit this with a little paint. Now I'm going to go at this like I do everything else, hot and sloppy. I'll come back. I'm going to try not to get it on there, but I'll come back and clean it up later. I'm not going to mask it off. I bought some masking tape to do it, but it'll just be easier to come back, scrape it off the windows, clean it up off that vinyl siding. It'll clean up no problem. All right, number two, same thing, only different. It's a couple days later, and the temperature has dropped considerably compared to what it was when I was painting this. But I'll give you a quick run on this. I'm not going to show you all of it, but I said I was going to come back and clean the edges up on this. So right there, you see it's all on the window. Now I started this a little bit, but and around these edges I cleaned down here some. But you see that up there, there's spillover. Well, with this window, I'm going to use this. You can use the razor blade and a vice grip, a small pair of vice grips to clean this. But you see how that slick, that just peeled that right off of there. So I mean, you know, whatever, this is only takes a given amount of time. And there. Now to mask this all off, it would have taken a lot longer, I believe. All right. And it would be to just come back later and run. Let me flip this. Nah, I like this way. Now, see how that came off there? Comes off pretty slick. and I'll end up cleaning the rest of this window. Like I said, I'm not going to show you the whole thing. I'll bring you back when I'm done and give you the full perspective. You can see here where I slopped over, and these stains are from whatever coming off of that chimney pipe up there from the rain and whatever, soot and ash and creosote and whatever else. But change the angle a little. There we go. Slicker than owl shit. Here's another part of this I'll show you. I got my piece of cardboard. I'm going in between the wood trim that I painted, and this edging on the siding here. That way it helps protect the wood trim, and I can get kind of close there. I mean, if you look right up close, you can see it's a little bit, you know what I mean? It's not exactly perfect, but from 10 feet away, nobody's going to see it. So I'm using a Scotch green pad and just a piece of cardboard. I got it all done. Got the paint scraped off the windows. Got the trim around there, about as clean as I'm going to get it. I really don't give a shit. This is all gonna, again, it's gonna get pressure washed and painted, the whole thing, eventually. But for now, it's sealed up this really raw wood, and that's what I needed to do. Plus, put this, you know, these extra trim pieces in here that were rotted out. Got them fixed up, and it'll seal it for a while. Buy me some time. May not be good, but it's good enough. Thanks for watching.